And there it is. That looks nice. It's not the highest end one, but it'll bring my big kettle up to boil. I only do 5-gallon batches so far, so it'll be fine. The only problem is today, being Wisconsin, January, it's not just cold, but it's way too windy to be using this out here. It wouldn't be very efficient. So we're going to be brewing inside. Too bad. So sad. 2 minutes later. Chocolate covered beaver nuts. And the ingredients list. And the ingredients. Chinook, Hersbrucker, cocoa nibs, some gold, and the grain. I'm going to use Safale US 5. Five minutes later.
Hey! I'm wearing my SF toque. That can only mean one thing. We're brewing beer. Dude, you got chocolate in my peanut butter and peanut butter on my chocolate. So, a group in California made chocolate-covered Imperial Stout with peanut butter. And naturally, you can't use regular peanut butter, so you need to use a peanut butter powder, or sometimes they call it peanut butter flour. So, it's basically an Imperial Stout, not like this one, but like this one. An Imperial Stout with the peanut butter flour added, along with chocolate nibs and chocolate powder. So right now we got the grains steeping for about almost an hour, and we'll be sparging next. And naturally, of course, we have the polka music going because, hey, we're German, or some of us are Polish.
1 hour later.
All right, grains are done steeping. It's been an hour. We let it settle an hour. Taking the grains, gonna put it in the strainer. Then we're gonna sparge. Now here you got all the syrup. It's pretty thick. Pretty thick. That's the condensed wort. Now we're going to very carefully, because it's a new kitchen, very slowly, no hurry in this. 170-degree water. We're basically rinsing the grains, sparging. And we'll do this until all the water is done here, and then next step will be bringing it up to a boil.
30 minutes later.
All right, the wort has started boiling, so at this time we'll why do I keep saying turn the heat off, and we're going to start adding the extra malt. First the powder. Reason why you turn it off, with this kettle I really don't have a problem. I won't have a problem. But with smaller kettles you could have a boil over. And just like when I did my Bavarian Hefeweizen, you want to add a little at a time so you don't get dough balls. Dough balls are bad. You can see how the moisture is making it stick up by the top of the bag. So just slowly add it in while you're stirring. This recipe is for an Imperial Stout originally, and the final alcohol content is going to be about 9.3, so it's not in any way a weak beer. Okay, that's the. Now we'll do the liquid.
And we'll add this in. It'll come back to a boil, and then we'll add our first addition of the hops. And that's about it for now. Sorry, hey, we're back, and we've got the boil going. So we're going to add the first dose of hops. We got the Chinooks. Dropping those in, and the Hersbrucker. The original recipe called for Spalt, but I guess the replacement was Hersbrucker. Ooh, getting a little close there. Stir those in. Yeehaw! Who's the happy brewer? Alright, we started the timer a second ago. Where is it? Oh, right there. Okay. Got about 53 minutes till we add the last addition. And 5 minutes after that, we'll be done, ready for the cool down. Later. Sorry, I skipped a little spot, and I added the wort chiller. I'm kind of filming solo here, so add the wort chiller the last 10 minutes of the boil, and 5 minutes add the last hops, flavoring hops. So I got a few minutes more, 2 minutes more, and then we'll put it down. We'll cool it down with the wort chiller. And okay, there you have it. You got the wort chiller in the brew pot, or the wort chiller in the brew pot, and I should be using a harder plastic, but I'm careful not to let it touch the sides or anything. And basically, I've got cold water in the bucket that I'll constantly be adding with the faucet, going down through the pipes, cooling off the wort, and dumping down in the big bucket here. That water's actually really hot when you first start this. This will cool off pretty quickly. Got to get it down to about 80 degrees or less before I can put the yeast in. Speaking of which, I usually start this about an hour, usually about the time I start brewing. Try to multiply the yeast. I get them going, and I sterilize a little container. And as you can see, these guys, oh, you can't see it that well, there you go. These guys have been bubbling for a good hour now, trying to get as many going as possible. It's just something I do with all my wine. My wines I always start at about 3 to 5 hours beforehand, get a nice colony going. And then you don't have to worry about any fermentation problems. You know you got good yeast, and obviously I've got really good yeast going there. So, next step is cooling this thing down to 80 degrees, and then we'll put it into our bucket here and add the yeast, and the rest will be history for the primary fermentation. Alright, sorry I'm poking out. Alright, it's all cooled down. It's close to 80 degrees. I'm going to have to add a little bit more water. I'll carefully pour this into the bucket without getting any of my wife's floor damage. Try to leave whatever tube is left at the bottom. There is no beer in heaven. That's why we drink it here. There we go. Leave the yucky stuff there. See where we're at. Okay, I figured we'd be about a gallon shy, and that's right where we're at. So, got a gallon of water ready. Once again, not splashing on my wife's new floor. Perfect. Right at 5. Give it a little stir and check the temperature. How can you not make beer without playing polka music? Really? Alright, we're at 78 degrees, which is perfect. Okay, and as you can see, we got a nice little slurry of yeast that I showed you earlier. Now I got a little bit better light. We're going to sprinkle that over the top. Mix it up a little bit here first. And that should start up pretty darn quick. I'll check the specific gravity, although I'm pretty sure where we're going to be. And in about 5 to 7 days, we'll do the next addition of the ingredients, which is the peanut butter powder. We got the cocoa nibs, and we'll also be adding some cocoa powder too. It was optional, but you know, if you're going to go chocolate covered peanuts, you're going to go with as much as you can of the weird stuff. So, till then, later. 12 hours later. Yes, that is a blow-off tube. High gravity beers, such like this. I've had one blow the the airlock off last time I made a stout, so I'm careful. Specific gravity started at 1.086, I believe it was. So yeah, it's going to be a heavy alcohol beer, but there's a lot of grain in there. Hmm?